Hello everyone, I'm Chris Erickley, and it's time for week 2 of our By the Numbers show. I'm of course joined by the local IE statistician expert, the Schwab of sorts of the Inland Empire Press Enterprise. It is EPJ Eric Paul Johnson. Eric, we begin with answering the trivia question we left the viewers with last week. The question being, in addition to Temescal Canyon, what other two IE football teams entered 2012 having won 9 straight openers? And drum roll please for the answer.
And the answers would be Vista Murrieta and Los Osos over in Rancho Cucamonga. Kind of a trick question. Vista Murrieta only played one game in 2003, but they did win that game, so that counts as a season opener. And both of those teams won their openers this year, so they have extended it to 10 wins. So looking to something to build on next season.
Well, their schedule for Vista Murrieta is a little bit busier this year than it was in 03. We can't say that. Moving on from there, keeping it in the Southwest, we have Murrieta Mesa. They have been busy in the air with their passing attack. Chase Chambers, EPJ, he's going for a record.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if he continues his career pace, he is going to set the Inland Empire record for both pass attempts and pass completions in a career. Both of those records being held by Blythe Palo Verde Valley's David Ortega. And right now he's just ahead of pace, but I don't see right now through 2 games Murrieta Mesa not putting the ball up in the air. They have 5 good receivers for Chambers to throw to. He knows this offense extremely well, and Coach Schaefer, Justin Schaefer over there, wants to throw the ball. Before he got the job at Murrieta Mesa, he was an assistant coach at Southwestern College, which ran a spread, no-huddle offense that threw the ball like crazy. And the interesting fact that Justin Schaefer has a tie to both quarterbacks. Obviously, he coaches Chambers now, but David Ortega played at Southwestern College when Justin Schaefer was an assistant there. And Coach Schaefer basically one time said, yeah, I think David might be calling me in a couple of weeks to tell Justin to slow down so those records might stay. But it looks like Chase right now is going to get those records. And if Murrieta Mesa can get to the playoffs and add one more game, he can definitely build upon that.
Might have to get him over there at University of Hawaii running their pass-hungry offense.
Yep.
Not quite that way against USC on Saturday, but that's a different story. Also, a guy is dominant on the ground is Chris Anderson at West Valley. He's been torching the rushing yards.
Yeah, I mean, we wonder how West Valley would do with Keyshawn Holmes transferring over to Vista Murrieta, but we knew Chris Anderson was also a very capable running back, and through 2 games right now, he's had 433 yards on 18 carries, which, if I'm not mistaken, is about a little over 24 yards per carry, which, if he can continue that pace, maybe not likely, would shatter the state record right now, which is a little over 16 yards per carry that was set a couple years ago. But the area record, which Anderson might have a shot at, is a little over 15 yards, 15.53 yards that was set by CSDR, California School for the Deaf, Riverside, Selwyn Abrahamson, back when they had a terrific season in 2005. So it'd be interesting to see, how Anderson keeps up this pace, but right now getting a lot of free space to open up. And
if you had a HSGameTime fantasy football team, I think he would be a guy that you would want on it. Moving again through to our next team, Centennial. They did lose against St. Bonaventure in a heartbreaking fashion. They almost rallied back. You were following that one closely. And the reason why we discussed them is they are the topic of this week's trivia question. Centennial, they weren't shut out. They did put up 35 points, but EPJ, stump us with your next piece of trivia.
Yeah, Centennial in there managed to score for, let's see, the 186th consecutive game. Right now, surprisingly, it's only the 16th longest streak in the state's history, but it's far and away the Inland Empire's longest streak of consecutive games without being shut out. So this week's question of the week that I pose to people is, who was the last team to actually shut out Centennial on the field? And give you a hint here, it happened during the 1998 season.
That goes back quite a ways. They have been winning quite a few games since then. Well, EPJ, thanks for joining us. That does it for this week's By the Numbers. Be sure to join us next Tuesday.